So I now have 100% of the collectibles in the past levels. I went ahead and just got them because all you do is load into various old levels and look around for blue crystals, so not much to show there. I don't think it was really worth trying to keep track of and editing and put it in the videos, because like, look, bet it was really like teasing your mind where that one blue crystal was. It was behind that rock. I know, right? What a surprise. So I kind of just did that off camera. So now, if there is a 100% completionism thing that happens, it'll happen. And I'm gonna try to be thorough from here on out. Which I was being thorough before, but I just like slightly I basically missed a couple crystals here and there in like 2 levels or 4 levels or something. So not much, but it happened. A lot of debris up here to block line of sight. Was that it? That's the blue. That's the beam. That over here. I didn't find them all already. There is one left. And just to screw with me, now we have these white beams that look like that. Let's get rid of that. There we go. That white crystal looks like the thing I'm trying to collect. Oh no, where is it? Where are you hiding it? Don't do this to me, game. Where's the blue glowy thing that I need for completionism? There's actually not much you can't look in that many directions in this one, actually. Because you can't move the camera past this big rock up here that's blocking my line of sight. In the ruins over here? Oh, there it is. Click. That is a pixel hunt right there in a way that even adventure games don't do anymore. Okay. We have these guys again. They make it nice and easy to keep track of those things at least, because it does the whoosh, or whatever sound when they're active, or they're not active yet. So you can kind of hear them in the level. Oh god, there's a purple one too. Okay. Boy oh boy, that's gonna be interesting. Okay. So first of all, we need to split it. That's the first thing that absolutely needs to happen. Then I need to defuse it. The logic there being that we have 3 things here, 1 purple, 1 green, and 1 blue. That's already a blue beam, so we need to keep one of the blue beams safe, so I can go in. The other one needs to be a purple and green beam. Ah, oh, damn it, that's like all I would need to solve it. If I just had one more diagonal mirror, this would be such a fast solution. What happens if we backtrack it a bit? Is there any benefit to sliding this whole thing down? Does the space dynamic really doesn't change, still is doomed. This could be used to deflect it still to not the right spot, so that doesn't really change anything actually. I was thinking in terms of the square, but it doesn't matter that it's on the square, it has to be the right part of the wall, not the center of the square. That's why these are harder than crystals actually. Crystals are the entire tile. If you get to that tile, you win, because the lasers always go through the middle of tiles anyway on a grid. But these wall things have to also hit the right part of the wall at the end of the tile, which means it has to be going when it gets to the tile. Yeah, that's the dynamic of these things, is that these wall mounts exist on this tile right here. Like, you can't get it to it from these other tiles, period. But it also means that when you get to this tile, it has to be moving at an angle that's dead on. It cannot be diagonal in any of them. I've done all these challenges all this time. I've done, what, like 10 of them so far or something? And every single time, it always has to be hit by a horizontal or vertical beam, not a diagonal. If you follow my logic of my terminology I use for what is or isn't diagonal with reference to the orientation of the squares themselves. It's always horizontal or vertical, which makes this kind of brutal. So here, I can just deflect that in there, but then the question becomes, is it even possible to get this one to go the way I need it to? Oh shit, I got it. Yeah! I was right there, I just need to slightly change some of the ending stuff. There we go. 2 out of 6. Now to revamp everything, so let's just rip out everything by the roots so I can come up with a new plan. Ah! Alright, welcome back to Color Blending 101. Crap. We have two blues, this time a purple and a green. Oh, both of the blues suck! The blues suck so bad. No! So both of the blues are dead ends. They're both in corners. That means that the beam, when it gets to them, dies. And can't go anywhere else. Because it goes into a wall immediately. Which is kind of a problem when you have to apparently split the beam into these two colors and then hit these two things. My best guess... The first thing that comes to mind is I think that you probably split the beam early on. You probably split this beam to two blues early on. One of those two beams goes immediately into blue, and we just write that off forever. The other beam is where complicated stuff happens, because I have to divide that beam into two different beams, send one into the green crystal and one into the purple crystal, and then they have to recombine and go into the blue crystal, which might be this one or might be that one. I think that'll be the solution. I think. But man, executing that is a whole lot harder than spelling out what I just said, so... Let's see, we can't make the beam go there, so that's not gonna work. We still have the option of horizontal vertical, where this kind of thing happens. That is still a solution, possibility. But then we have the issue of this being purple. So if I split it in that way, then we end up in a problem where, like, as it deflects, it's going... Yeah, if we split it in this way, there's almost no way to stop it from hitting the purple when it's in blue state, which means that it's pretty much unsolvable at that point, so that's not happening. Boy, are you a nightmare. Okay. This is the wrong time to split it, pretty much. Just trying to think of ways to get the first split to happen before it hits the first crystal. This thing is diagonal from here. If I do it there, then it... Yeah, that might be the solution. This is the simplest way to light one of the blues, because it's only one mirror, and it lights one of the blues while solving my problem of getting the other one to be a separate beam. The issue being that that said separate beam is in a really awkward position at that point. And then you have a question of, do I want to use... Which beam do I want to use at this point? I can't deflect this directly into that. If I want to be able to deflect it directly into green, I'd want to do it like down here. But then that makes so this thing doesn't go directly into the blue unless I do something like this, which uses up an entire additional mirror, which is not ideal, but that does solve the question of how we get to the green. That can't be it, though. We have an additional problem with the green, which is that the green is also kind of at a dead end. Not as much as the blues, where it's completely bookended. The problem with the green is it pretty much has to go like this. So if we shoot it diagonally, we can trace the wall and hit the green without making the beam end, because the beam can then be deflected from this tile. In fact, now that I look at that, that's probably the mandatory way of proceeding. The question being which mirror is used here, because this part has to be here for that to work. This is a shitty angle, so it's probably not going to be that. I'm thinking, not you. You. Deflects it back down in a more usable state. At which point... I basically need to find a way to recombine the beams. It might actually be this one. What I need to do at this point is I need to recombine the beams like this so they come out blue, and then send both of the finished blue beams out to these two crystals somehow. We can't do it from here because, while this is really close to being the solution, this beam goes into the wall and that stops us. And this high angle really sucks and screws me. Here's an idea. What if I could deflect... Yeah. What if I could deflect this beam backwards? Let's explain this thought. So this beam has to be diagonal, right? And the only reasonable way to handle this beam seems to be to have this guy here. But what if the beam direction, instead of being this way, was the other way around? I can rework my initial assumption slightly, and then see if we can reshuffle in a way that works differently from there. It's like this makes the beam go backwards. Let's see. That still means purple goes to purple, which means that we still need to split it off to get to these guys. But the main difference is I have a different configuration of mirrors left. This seems like good news. I have the purple and green combining in the same spot now, which just screams, put this guy here. Oh crap, and that lit up you, so then... Yep. That absolutely worked. I am a genius, and definitely not losing my mind. This place overwhelms and disturbs. A dark shadow of the past is lurking over this miserable realm. I think I've been forgetting to read this part, because I'm like, yay, victory screen, continue, and like... I don't think I've actually been reading the part where the victory screen says stuff. Whoops. Holy place, they call it. I'll be the judge of that. There aren't even holes here. There's just jaggy edges. It's not a hole. The holes have like a circle around them. Checkmate, video game. Wow, those are like on top of each other. They're not even hiding them anymore. No complaints. Catacombs 1 of 3. Dangerous warship has spawned within the wasteland. Their followers question the validity of the divines, the savers, the forefathers of the light. Sure. Glowy bit. I need 2 more, apparently. Where are you hiding? Weird collectibles. Is one of them inside the level? There's almost always one, like, in here somewhere. You being sneakies? Oh, oh! There you are! Alright, done with that. I believe that's all of them. Okie dokie. I didn't hear any weird sound effects, and I don't spot anything around. They couldn't be in very many places, too, because there's, like, trees, and that's, like, the hill that's here, so... I don't think we have that one thing going on where I have to, like, make it go into the things, so it's just the puzzle itself. Boy, this looks complicated. Oh, we have parts to keep track of this time. Okay, so we have... 2 diagonals and a non-diagonal. Got 2 projector things here. One's green, one's purple. So those both output those will output green and purple things when this thing is powered on, like so. And so we gain such power if we want it. We could account for both of those that way if we wanted to, for example. But then we have to somehow get the beams to go to these guys too, which is going to be harder. I doubt I can just like reflect it up there. Nope, it just doesn't even come close to reaching. And there's like no way to make this beam go to there, and so on. We don't have a single repeater. That's not very helpful. We have no repeater. We have one thing that will split the beam. This is not going to go easy, is it? Okay, so... my first guess is that we need to go through this thing to split the beams, make the beams go through one purple crystal and one green crystal, and then deflect them to rejoin at this location to turn on the other things which activate the other purple and green crystals. This is potentially a start. That's not gonna be enough. Boy oh boy. Here's an idea. Let's deflect the crystal this way. There we go, because purple comes out towards the... ah, crap. I was gonna say the purple will come out going straight, so I can just make the green go that way pretty easily. Straightforward. Nailed it. And I can even make that go to that spot. But now the purple's going off into space and it's never coming back. It's like, bye-bye! Auf Wiedersehen! Oh, dang it. At this point, I think it becomes an issue of minimizing mirrors, which always really is the thing here. The other way, because you're kind of in the way. Here's an interesting observation. This is diagonal from this, which goes through here. That's probably important. There we go. You create a beam that goes through here, and then just try to deflect it back to the main one. There we go. So now if I split the color, can I make the green go the other way? I need you to go the other... Okay, let's try the other guy. I can make you go back down. Oh, is that it? That's it, that's it, that's the whole thing. Had to make a lattice. There we go, that was the right line of reasoning. Noticing this was diagonal from that, I'm like, ooh. That takes you through purple, and going through green's easy. That's the pattern. There we go. I feel like I'm learning how to read the level design a little bit, because the level design is basically the key to the answer. I mean, that's how all puzzles work ever, but in this case, you literally can read the solution in the level design, in that it is shaped in a certain way in many cases. They have, through omission, removed so many options on purpose, and you need to figure out which options they left remaining on purpose. What is happening here? Oh, I see. That's purple, that's a green, and by default it's in a crazy pattern where it makes the two of them combine into blue. So I think they're giving me an important clue here. They're saying, hey look, you can make it all blue. They might be giving me the clue that there's a way of making it go through all 4 crystals while it's still a continued beam. So basically, it'd be a path that goes from purple to green, while the connecting things are all connected to each other still. The end result being that it would be essentially an infinite loop, purple to green situation. One more shiny bit and one more story bit, there it is. There's the last one, I see you. Catacombs. These zealots destroy holy artifacts in rebellion, believing the path was created against natural law. Where was that little guy? There we are. Alright, that's the collectibles done here. This is gonna be hard. You betcha. Okay, so we have 1 diagonal, 4 non-diagonals. Great. That's... Ooh, how's that gonna work? The idea of having 1 diagonal, for those that aren't clear on this, is scary, because if you don't have an even number, you can't make the beam go back to being horizontal/vertical. It won't go back to obeying the dimensions the other beams are going on. What that means is that if I was going to create an infinite loop here, where it goes from one emitter to the other one and back, I would not use this one. So the fact that it exists means that my initial assumption is probably completely wrong. I don't think you do create an infinite loop between the two. And that could be problematic. You can see immediately how this would be getting very problematic. It's just the way that, like, this patterning gets so complicated. Yeah. Just trying to zigzag from one to the other. I can't even make the purple hit them all, let alone the green also. This is gonna get hard. And that's likely the whole point. Well, that makes it hard too. Okay. I don't know where the diagonal is gonna come in handy exactly. That's gonna be weird to deal with. Let's reset them all again. Alright, standout features. The level's symmetrical. Oh, dark crystals. Let's think about dark crystals. That one had a weird grid of crystals in it. And also there was a bunch of teleporters around, and the level was symmetrical, so I used the items symmetrically. I have four right angle turning ones. So what if I can, like, make a symmetrical shape around them? Like, all the way back here. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1. These are all in straight lines around each other in a diamond. So if you could get the beams to introduce themselves to the system, you'd be set. But this doesn't work because this beam's in the way, which means it won't become the shape I need it to be. What can the oh! That immediately did that. Okay. What if I put this in the crossroad? Oh, wow. Okay. Because that makes the purple go through here, then bounce here, which makes it rejoin the rest of the infinite looping diamond. So in other words, I was actually right in the first assumption, which is that you had to create an infinite loop that joins the purple and greens together. It's just a really hard, complicated, infinite circle looping one. That's hard to process. May the faith of those who have fallen here be a warning for the hearts beating in despair. Not the despair. Catacombs. I don't see any challenges here. Nope. 2 more to go. 2 more. And 2 more crystals. Not hiding one back here? Or in down there? Oh, crystal. Examples have been made, and punishments given. Damned be who dares to deny the truth. Right here. Is it the last one? 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's all those. Best as I can see. God, what is happening in this level right now? Oh my goodness, it's one of these ones. We haven't seen these for a while. These caused me a lot of heartache in the early levels, these hallway-shaped levels that they used a lot during the desert world of this game. Where there's a bunch of walls everywhere blocking your path. Okay, let's just get rid of... These never help, so I'm just gonna dismantle this right now, because it always feels like a red herring. Boy, oh boy, how many diagonals are there here? 4? We have 4 diagonals, 3 non-diagonals. Nope. 5 diagonals. Oh my god. Purple is here, green is here. No gimmicks, huh? Oh wow, yeah. This is a back to basics level. We're going back to the original mechanics of the game with no other razzle-dazzle. There's a purple beam, there's a green beam, there's a purple crystal, there's a green crystal. Get them to their crystals, that's it. There's no color blending, no repeating, no splitting, no other splitting, no color filtering, no challenge input spots. Just a nightmare labyrinth that's really complicated looking, frankly. Alright, so in 2 mirrors, that makes it go right down the hallway. That's probably for the best. But that makes it go into the door. That's probably not for the best. How about you? Ooh. Green is diagonal from this spot. So if I take it down here, I can take it, put it straight in there. Meanwhile, purple is here. So I'd want to make it go deflecting down through here. This is where we're going to get in trouble. I lack the types of beams I'd want to use for that. God, that's really close to almost working right there. So if I had 1 more mirror, I would make this right angle go here. And then shoot up there. I don't have 1 more mirror, so that's not happening. Which means I need to augment. Basically. I don't really see a way to change which one the green goes to, because it's in here. The purple seems to be better at getting to that particular spot. Purple has to go here. It can only get there in a straight line. if we're doing this efficiently. So I think this has to be how purple gets here. It's not completely inconceivable that you could do this with some amount of, let's see. No. It could only end up going straight if it came in here diagonally, and it can't get here diagonally. It's too awkward of a spot, so I think it does have to be this one, where it goes in a right angle right through here, which means purple has to come from here or here. This would be the go-to spot to try, right? But it seems incredibly unlikely that would work. Alright, well, I want to start over again. And we're dealing with a cramped space here. I want to see if I can find the lowest... Let's put everything over here, I guess. I want to see if I can find the lowest number of mirrors I can use to get it to just green from one point to the other, and then see if purple can sort of hang on to that. Boy, you don't have space for these. I kind of wish there was like an inventory dock somewhere you could throw these things onto. Because they're in a hallway shape, they're going to block no matter where I go. Let's see. I don't think I tried heavily on diagonals before. That works really well. I was thinking, what if I do a little trick and make this thing be a non-diagonal instead of a diagonal? Because I went with a... The intuitive thing is that it's a diagonal angle, so make it diagonal. But if I make it a non-diagonal and bounce it into it, that way we at least get a different configuration. Oh, I think I can work with that. Yeah. That was figuring we need a non-diagonal here to bounce you into the purple. So if I can get the purple to bounce through here, like, if it hits this diagonally, it would go there, then there. So my goal is then to get that there diagonally. Can I bounce into that thing? That version's not going to work out. What happens if I bounce this in? Where does it end up? Here. Oh, that's it. That's all we needed. Awesome. Escape. Sweet escape. Goodbye, Catacombs.